Salutations and good morrow everyone, and welcome back to another Grounded 2 guide, where today I'm going to be hopping in and talking to you guys about how to do a couple of different things. 1. How to find the lab to get into the abyss. 2. Everything you're going to need in order to get there. 3. How to actually traverse the abyss. And 4. Everything you're going to need to actually look around the abyss, meaning how to unlock your diving suit. So let's hop in and let's talk about it. First things first, the things that you're going to need in order to get to the lab to get into the abyss are going to be the following. 1. You're going to need a gill tube. A gill tube is unlocked by analyzing an eelgrass strand. 2. You're going to need some fin flops. You're going to unlock these by analyzing a water boatman fin. Now, in order to make the fin flops, you will need lily pad wax, the boatman fins, and some eelgrass strands. In order to make the gill tube, you're going to need a couple of items as well. In order to make the gill tube, you're going to need 2 lily pad wax, 4 eelgrass strands, and 2 silk rope. Now, in order to get the eelgrass strands, you're going to need one of the new Omni tools that's come with the Into the Abyss update. And what is that Omni tool? The Clipper. Now, the Clipper is unlocked the minute that you load into the game, but you cannot use the tool just the same as you can't use the shovel or the hammer and stuff like that until you've paid the 1,000 raw science, you have a lily pad wax, and you have a water boatman fin. All of those together will allow you to unlock the clippers. Once you've unlocked the clippers, then you can go and get the eelgrass strands by going into the pond, finding them, cutting them, and there you go. Now you can make those 2 different pieces of kit. The next thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to navigate all the way over to the pond and find this location, because what you're looking for is the diving station. Now, the diving station is actually pretty easy to find, but not easy to get to. So in order to find it, what you'll do is you'll come right over to where the skunk pond is. You're going to find the pond skimmer basket thing that's here, walk your way down here, swim across next to the sprinkler or fountain that's in the pond here, and make your way to this last lily pad that's right here. Now, from here, you're pretty much going to dive straight down, and I'm going to show you that right now, but this is where you need to get to on the map. So on the skunk pond, you're going to go right here. Now, like I said, in order to get here, you're just going to go ahead and dive straight down. You're going to want to look for this triangle that you see on my map right now. You'll see that you have a lily pad strand that's going here. You have one branch here, and then this little tube that's right here. And really, you want to drive straight down. Just keep going, okay? Now, when you get down here, I'm going to warn you, it's going to be dark and cold. So a bonus thing that you can bring with you is going to be a charcoal torch. But once you start getting down here, it's going to get incredibly dark and cold. You're going to know you're in the right spot because you're going to find a large toe biter down here. And then this is what you're looking for. Like I said, dive straight down, keep going, and you're going to find this ladder. And then just make your way up. Okay, once you're inside this area right here, this little lab, it's very, very simple. There's nothing in here. You're going to run over here. There's no mobs or anything like that. Preferably climb down the ladder instead of jump down it like I did. Run over here, and now you're actually in the lab where you can access the abyss. Now, the lab for getting into the abyss, you walk through it. You go through this pneumatic transit system tube right here. It's going to send you down, even further down under the pond, and then you're going to walk over here. And notice how now you have some red lights that are showing some diving suit stuff. Okay, what you're going to want to do is walk over here, and once you have your complete diving suit on, your helmet, your chest piece, and your legs, you have them all on, you will be able to open this up and dive down into the abyss. And let me tell you, it's quite deep down there. Now, I'm not going to go through and show you guys the abyss today, but what I am going to do is I'm going to show you exactly how to go through and unlock each of the different pieces that you're going to need in order to unlock and get the diving suit. Okay, so to unlock the 3 different pieces that you're going to need, you're going to need to find all 3 of the different chips that are spread throughout the skunk pond area. Now, they're very simple to get to. First one's first, chip 1 is going to have the helmet in it. Now, this chip is actually going to be sitting on a bench inside of the lab that I just showed you how to access. So that's how you're going to find the first piece of your suit. That chip's in there. Two, you're going to need to go over here to the gnarly bark. Now, this one's going to be a little bit harder to get to. You have to climb all the way up the park. This tree that they have here, you have to climb up it, and you're going to find an area that looks kind of like a classroom covered in tang is the best way for me to say it, and it takes a little bit to climb up there. I'll do a complete guide on how to get to each of these chips in another video, but that's where this one is. That chip itself will have the diving boots in it. And then finally, chip 3 over here, probably the easiest of the chips to get to, is just on top of this little bridge that's over here. You just climb onto the top of it. You can work your way from here over. This is going to have the chest plate in it. Now, each of these different items, you're going to need to use raw science in order to unlock. If I remember correctly, it's about 1,500 raw science per piece. So you're going to need quite a little bit of raw science in order to unlock each of these items to access the abyss. Now let's talk about making those items, shall we? So going from top to bottom here for you guys, we have the diving helmet. Now, the diving helmet itself is a little bit of a pain to make. You need something called quartz glass. In order to get quartz glass, you will need the actual kiln. In order to get the kiln, you will need a tier 2 clipper and to go and harvest horsetails. Once you harvest the horsetails, you will then go analyze them and it will unlock the kiln for you. Once you build your kiln, you'll be able to make quartz glass. Now, another tip for you. In order to get the resources for the quartz glass, you will need to go into the gnarled bark tree, and underneath it, there's going to be purple crystals all around. To give you a heads up, in order to make all the items, the kiln, the grinder, and everything you're going to need for the dive suit, you will need 14 pieces of quartz. Okay, just as a heads up, you're going to need 14 quartz crystals and you can make this whole thing. But you go through, you get your quartz glass, toe biter shells. Guess what? You have to fight regular nymph toe biters in order to get these. You don't need to fight the big ones, just the nymphs. And they're found all over the place, especially underneath that bridge. Then the cattails. Easiest place to get yourself cattail fluff is actually inside of the little skimmer basket thing that's right here. There's 2 of them that are in here, nice and easy to get. There's one right here and one right here. Super easy for you to grab those, guys. You can go in there, grab your cattail fluffs, no big deal at all. Then the last part that you're going to need for the helmet is going to be your wax. Wax is nice and easy, guys. It's on all of the lily pads. Now, the diving suit chest plate is going to need chrysalis leather, which you get by going through and harvesting chrysalises and drying them out. 2 more quartz glass, some cattail fluffs once again, and then some lint ropes. Okay. Pretty simple. Already explained how to get quartz glass. You put it into the kiln after grinding it on the grinder. Oh, yeah, it's not that hard. And then finally, the diving boots. The diving boots themselves, what you're going to need to do is get chrysalis leather, fire bricks, toe biter shells, and wax. Now, fire bricks you get by combining the powder that comes out of the new grinder, which I'll show you here in just a second. Now you take that, mix it with some clay inside of this standard oven. Okay, so when you're going through, the standard oven will make those bricks that you need. Okay, you'll only need 2 of them, and every recipe will make 4. And then the kiln is what you're going to need those horsetails in order to unlock. And then finally, the last item is the quern. Now, this is the hand mill, the grinder that I was talking about that you need in order to grind up those quartz crystals into the powder that you need for your items. So just keep that in mind. It's called a phantom quartz shard. They are underneath the gnarly bark tree. Once you have all of that, you'll be able to successfully go through and start making your own diving suit. Head back to that lab location, open up that door, and dive yourself all your way down into the abyss. But guys, that's going to do it for this one. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please do hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, leave me a comment down below. And as always, I'll see all of you guys in the next one.